you will rest in peace.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Three-Sided Box podcast. We are again joined by the partner in crime, Johnny.
I'm here.
And, of course, Adamo has been on every podcast so far with me.
Hey.
And I'm David, which I've never mentioned before on any other podcast. For all those who don't watch our YouTube channels, that's my name. And today we are discussing Wrestlemania 33. Overall, we could all agree, pretty solid Mania.
It's one of the weakest pay-per-views I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, period. Yeah, especially the last, three WrestleManias where they've been literally garbage. But no, it was a good Mania. It was entertaining from start to finish. It had a couple of weak spots here and there, but
historic moments.
Oh, a lot of
shortage there. Yeah.
No, none, and barely any legends. No Rock, no Austin.
They didn't need
There wasn't any, I think.
Yeah, nothing.
I think this year they had the benefit of few injuries.
Exactly, a relatively healthy roster.
So they didn't have to fill it out with some
which is
cheap pops.
at some point it looked like there was going to be a lot of superstars missing in wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. So let's begin. Pre-show Cruiserweight Championship match. Neville the champion versus Austin Aries. It's pre-show, so we won't go too much into it. But it was a solid match.
It was a decent match.
It was. I think it ran about 20 minutes. They showed what they did, and they definitely deserve a spot on the main card next year. They earned that, at least from my point of view. It was fun. Neville's been a great heel. I love the whole King Neville thing, and
he's finally flexing a little of I'm a real wrestler. I'm not just that stupid finishing move.
Exactly.
I
that
can
whole
act,
superhero
I
gimmick was shit.
Yeah,
right?
that was like kids' birthday parties.
Yeah, exactly. That cheap cake Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck.
Not to mention he's not the most good-looking guy on the planet either.
Yeah,
right?
that's
So,
it, yeah. I mean, he looks so tough until you see, wait a minute, what's so wrong with his ears? And then he opens his mouth and you go, oh.
His face and his forehead.
He's good for a cruiserweight.
He is. Yeah. And Austin Aries, great addition to the division. I've been watching him since he was in TNA. He's a pretty good wrestler, and he built his character through commentary with his banana in his blazer pocket, which was hilarious. It's a good match. Neville won, and hopefully that solidifies the cruiserweights a little bit more going forward into the year, and hopefully next year we get them on the main card, because after that they deserve it. All right, let's move on. Next one, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, where Mojo Rawley won. I didn't see that coming with Braun.
We missed the.
Yeah, we didn't watch it, but I've seen the highlights of it, and Braun Strowman, considering he was in it and how he's had a great year, and they built him up pretty well. I don't like that he didn't win it.
How was he eliminated?
I don't remember, but he was eliminated early. That's the only thing I remember. And him and Big Show were both eliminated early to kind of shift the focus, but why have them in the match? Yeah. I'd rather them not be on the show at all, like the way Samoa Joe was, and they built Braun Strowman up really well, which is something that's very rare in WWE these days, and they blew it. They literally.
I mean, after watching last week's Raw, I think they have big plans for him.
I hope so.
Because he came in really not a wrestler at all.
No, he was just a strong guy.
He's a huge, strong person.
Yeah.
And I think they're trying to make him in the league of the Lesners or the early Big Show.
Yeah.
We were talking about that. Wow, look at this marvel of humanity.
Yeah.
This 7-foot tall mammoth who can just kill everybody.
Yeah.
But because he debuted with the Wyatt family, he has that image.
Yeah.
Of I have to be crazy and wide-eyed like Luke Harper.
Yeah.
He has to shave the beard.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he has to shave the beard, but I think he's got to bust out of that and have his own persona. But that takes time. So I mean, I think they see things for him, but would winning this match have made a difference? I don't think so.
No, it wouldn't. But it's the fact that he lost. Don't have him in the match at all if he wasn't planning on winning it. You
Especially
know what I mean?
that it takes away the validity of the match when you have a guy that big and strong.
Exactly.
In a battle royal.
Exactly.
It hurts him more than that.
And they built Big Show up recently good.
Yeah.
With the whole weight loss thing, he's in great shape.
Yeah, he got into great
and
shape.
they made him eliminated early also.
Yeah.
I don't get that. But anyways, Mojo Rawley won. Gronk.
Had pulled some strings.
Yeah. What's his first name?
Rob
Gronkowski, New England Patriots tight end. helped them out with the win. It was alright. It was a Sportsnet, Sports Center moment.
Celebrity moment.
You know, that's what WWE wanted, but whatever. It was alright.
They wanted to raise interest in the New England area.
Yeah, even though they were in Orlando, it made no difference. But alright, next up, Intercontinental match. Oh my God, I'm blanking out. Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin. A lot of people surprised Corbin did not win the match.
Yeah.
He won versus Dean on SmackDown.
Yeah, in a street fight.
Yeah, which wasn't for the title, which I didn't know till after he won the match. I was like, they didn't announce it.
I didn't get it. I didn't even see the point of him.
Yeah, I don't know. It was
winning
weird. I would have given Corbin the belt. As much as I'm not a huge fan of Corbin, they've built him relatively well also.
I'm really not a big fan of Corbin's hairline.
Exactly,
Are you balding or not? He looks like Mr. Filch from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
You know the janitor?
Yeah.
He's like kind of bald, but he's like long hair.
Walder Frey.
Yeah.
But it was an okay match. My biggest thing is that it felt like a SmackDown match.
Yeah,
their match on SmackDown to me was better than their match at Mania.
Low card.
Yeah.
And when you have a guy like Ambrose that actually can do good work with the storyline.
Yeah.
You know, take it basically nowhere, and it was stale and felt forced and
exactly
wasn't very good.
No, but they got bumped down from the main card to the pre-show, and I think they were limited with their time, and you could tell they didn't really care. Yeah. Whatever. All right, so that's the pre-show. Dean Ambrose won. I don't know if I mentioned that. Main card. WrestleMania 33 officially has begun. Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles.
Before we talk about the first match, when the New Day came out.
Oh yeah.
That was some weird shit.
Weird ass cosplay that they were dressed
up
as.
They were like ice cream people, but also a samurai.
I wasn't surprised.
I
wasn't surprised either, but
Final
it was
Fantasy character.
Yeah, it was Dragon Ball Z.
No, it's Final Fantasy apparently. I thought it was Dragon Ball Z also.
Yeah,
but apparently it's Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that was last year.
Yeah, that was
Dragon Ball Z.
Pretty strange.
Yeah.
But I think Kofi Kingston was like a cowboy pirate.
Yeah, I don't know. He looked like
a musketeer.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah.
Really, really weird.
Yeah.
But so they came out, kicked it off, and now we can get into the first match. I had to acknowledge the weirdness of the New Day intro.
True, you're right. All right, Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles. I was not happy with the booking of this match prior to Mania. AJ Styles is not a spring chicken anymore. He's not young. He does not have a lot of years left in the tank. I hope he does. But I mean, eventually he's gonna want to go home and spend time with his kids.
Wasting this athletic ability on an old timer,
who's not even a real wrestler.
Yeah.
He's the son of the guy who owns the place. But I was pleasantly surprised with the match. It was surprisingly pretty good.
They played off each other well. A lot of cool finishing moves.
Yeah.
A lot of drama.
Yeah. I wasn't a huge fan though that Shane actually dealt enough blows to actually potentially beat AJ. I'm not. How am I supposed to believe that a guy who doesn't wrestle can beat the best wrestler in WWE right now? Yeah. You know what I mean? It's kind of it's weird. So, but it was a good match overall. I'm not gonna complain too much because I had really low expectations of this match, and it met them and exceeded them by quite a bit. They had AJ almost did the coast to coast. He got hit in the head with the garbage can, and then Shane did it. And then AJ won not off the Styles Clash. He won off the forearm, which I liked a lot because it basically showed that Shane didn't need to be Styles Clash in order to win. Even though people were saying, "Oh, but he kicked out of the one earlier in the match." First of all, that was early in the match, and second of all, he didn't even fully get it.
It was like a one-handed Styles
and I think they did it on purpose.
Yeah. They do that a lot for if ever they want to revive a rivalry or for whatever reason. They'll use specific moves that were missed with the commentary at that moment to go back to.
Exactly, yeah.
So, like you said, they planned it for sure, and it was very, very well executed.
Yeah, So props to Shane. He did a really good job. AJ won the match, rightfully so. And then they shook hands on SmackDown Live.
Had a bit of did he turn?
I don't know if he turned face, because then he went to potentially hit Shane, but he faked it and he laughed. But we'll get to that at the end of the show when we talk about Raw and SmackDown a little bit. So AJ won. Surprisingly pretty good match. It was a good opening match. It set the tone well for WrestleMania.
Compared to last year where we pretty much realized at the beginning this was going to be a snooze fest.
Yeah.
This one actually had me going, okay, this match that I was unsure about turned out good. Imagine the next one.
Exactly.
Speaking of the next one.
We are going to jump to the U.S. title match. Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens. Good match. But it kind of got lost in the shuffle, I find. Kind of like Jericho Styles last year at Mania 32, where again another good match, but it got lost in the whole
great
trend of
build
things.
up, all that stuff, but they mid-carded it, and that kind of made it like, oh well, you know, it's not the first one, it's not the last one, so we were kind of like
not even mid-card. It was like the beginning of the show.
No, but it wasn't even that where it was placed. It was just more the feel of the show.
Way it felt.
It was they played it, I find, very safe considering how much of a build-up it was and how it headlined Raw for the better part of 8 months. It had one of the
greatest build-ups of any story in recent memory.
Yeah.
And all right, they fought.
It was it kind of fell flat.
Yeah.
But it was a good match nonetheless. It wasn't. It was it's like a 3.5 star, 4-star match. It wasn't a great match. It was good. This would have been good for any other pay-per-view, but because it was WrestleMania, it felt a little bit. And I find their entrances, although Jericho did give us the countdown, the fact that Jericho didn't come out in a crazy like jacket, and Kevin Owens came out in a t-shirt and shorts. I know that's his thing, but at WrestleMania, I feel like you got to step it up a little bit more. Come up with something like I don't know, some sort of straight jacket or something like that. Yeah.
Owens brought his heel levelness
to
a new level.
100%.
With the finger rope break.
Yeah, that was great. Oh
that
my
was
God.
one of the coolest things.
That's such a Kevin Owens thing to do.
Put on the list.
Just the way he casually my finger's there.
Exactly, it was perfect.
That was good. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, that was great. One thing I did like though about the end of the match was all it took was one powerbomb on the side to finish the match. I felt like that was like a point like this. That's all it took. That's how powerful that move is.
Yeah, because it's been like that in the past too. Just that one move.
Yeah.
And he tosses them in the ring.
Because I felt like if this match went on another 5-6 minutes, there would have been a lot more kickouts, and I'm happy. Yeah, I just feel like I like the Walls of Jericho at the beginning of the match. I like that Kevin Owens put Chris in the Walls of Jericho in the match. I like that Chris reversed and put him back into the walls. I just felt like overall it kind of got lost in the shuffle. I think because the rest of the card was so good.
Yeah, it was a stacked card.
That it was.
For once, we can complain that there were so many good matches.
Yeah, exactly. Which actually, a lot of people on the internet don't like this Mania, mostly because of the end, because they're idiots. But anyway, we'll get to that. So Chris Jericho lost the belt. Kevin Owens is the new United States champion. He is the I forgot what they called him on Raw. The face of America or something like that, or something that I can't remember. But it was funny, and considering he stepped on the belt when he first debuted in WWE versus John Cena, now he's biting the belt in his pictures, and so I hope he washed it because
as long as he doesn't do something else with the belt.
Page. All right, let's move on to the next one. So Kevin Owens won, Universal Champion, and next up was the Raw Women's match, Fatal 4-Way. Bayley versus Nia Jax versus Charlotte versus Sasha Banks. And I'm going to start off by saying the entrances pissed me off. Yeah. The champion should always come out last. Yeah. I don't care. Call me old school, call me butthurt, call me whatever you want. It should always be that way.
You're the main person.
Exactly. And they need to sit there in the ring, the challengers, and watch you come to the ring. Yeah. That's how it should be. Bayley came out first, didn't like it. Charlotte came out last to that giant, peacock jacket that she was wearing with the fireworks in the background. It was a great entrance. All of them had pretty solid entrances, minus Nia Jax. It just felt like she was wearing a longer jacket than normal. But the match was pretty good. It wasn't as good as the triple threat match last year at Mania.
Yeah,
that stole the show. Yeah. But this year was pretty solid. I like the spots that they did at the beginning with Nia, that it took all three of them to powerbomb her, and then they all piled on top of her to pin her. It kept her looking strong while making the other ones have some sort of teamwork and unity, understanding that this is not just a show, but
it showed their strategic approach versus her brutal approach.
Exactly, and added a depth of realism to it. That it wasn't just a show, and they actually had to work together in order to defeat this monster. So good on them for that. So Nia was eliminated first. Then Sasha was eliminated. I don't remember how. I think. I think she was eliminated by Charlotte, because what happened after that is that Charlotte went for a high five after Nia Jax got eliminated to Bayley and Sasha, and they rejected her and they started fighting each other, and then Charlotte kind of watched them do it, and then she came back and that's what a triple threat match is. It's one person leaves the ring because they're hurt, and then two people start fighting, and then they kind of switch places until someone gets eliminated. That's usually the type of match it is. I like that idea. I wasn't a huge fan that Charlotte kind of just went to the side. I kind of wish that maybe Bayley and Sasha would have exactly done something a little bit more than that. But it was funny. It was good. Sasha was eliminated next, and then it was Charlotte versus Bayley, and then Bayley ended up winning the match. I think it would have been even more special though if she won her first match and broke Charlotte's streak at Mania. Not that she won it a month before. I feel like they kind of stole that moment from us. That and again, I'm not even a huge Bayley fan. Out of all of them,
but if you're gonna start it off right.
Exactly. You know that's what I felt that match lacked, was like a real like feel good moment. You know, they played the underdog thing too much with her, I find, and that's why they did her coming out first, because she was the underdog. Charlotte was the queen, but again, I'm old school. The champion should always come out last. But again, solid match. Bayley retained the title. We'll see what happens going forward. What they do with the rivalry, especially with the draft coming up, or the superstar shakeup. Next up, what we got? Then the Hall of Fame came out. The Hall of Famers. And, Kurt Angle got the "You suck" chance, which was hilarious, by the way. It was so funny.
75,000 people chanting "You suck."
Yeah, exactly. It was hilarious. But good for him. I'm proud that he's back. It's been way too long since we've heard his music in the WWE arena or stadium. And now he's the GM of Raw. Spoiler alert if you haven't watched Raw yet. But
that's amazing about WWE. You get so stale, and then you leave, and when you come back, you're just like welcome. Because everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I remember that."
Yeah.
Like
the one thing though that all the fans don't know is that during his theme, there's another part where you're supposed to keep chanting "You suck," but people didn't do that because most of the WWE fans are idiots and they chant stupid stuff. And we'll get to that when it comes to the Raw after Mania chants the Roman Reigns, how you people shot yourselves in the foot.
Yeah.
And basically gave Vince exactly what he wanted. Yeah. We'll get to that later on. Moving on to the next match, the Raw Tag Team Championship match.
Yeah.
Now, for those who didn't watch but kind of want to get spoiled, it started off as a triple threat ladder match. The champions, the Club, Anderson and Gallows, versus Enzo and Kaz versus Sheamus and Cesaro. Then the New Day came out.
And at that point, if you weren't following any rumors, you thought, well, are the New Day going to fight in this match?
Exactly. Like they kind of looked. They took off their hats. They looked, because they announced there's a fourth team going to be involved in this match.
Yeah.
They took off their hats. They started slowly. They took 2-3 steps towards the ramp, and then the music hit. The Hardy Boys came back. I'm wearing their necklace. I am a die-hard Jeff Hardy fan. I've been my whole life. Love the Hardy Boys. I predicted it to a T. I was telling everyone there at the bar that they're gonna, the New Day's gonna come out. They're gonna announce there's another team coming in, and the Hardy Boys are gonna play. And then I predicted they were gonna win it, and they did. And this match, I think it lasted about 10 to 12 minutes long. A little bit shorter than what I thought it would be. I thought it would run about 15. Exactly. One thing that the ladder matches have been lacking the last couple of years, and a lot of these like TLCs, these last man standing matches, all this shit, is that it's way too spotty. Yeah. It's last year the 7-man Intercontinental ladder match. Yeah. This guy would jump off this ladder, and then that guy would jump off the other ladder, and then someone would fall off the ladder, and then it was just spot after spot after spot after spot, and it fucking sucked. Yeah. This year, there was the spots at the beginning and the spots at the end. The middle was perfectly paced. Yeah. Because why? You have veterans like the Hardy Boys in there who basically invented the match or brought it to the next level and mastered it. And they did a great job with it, and the Hardys won. And I'm so happy.
It doesn't suck the energy from the crowd too.
Yeah. Exactly.
This match had the benefit of having 4 tag teams that are so good. Yeah. The crowd loved all of them. I think. Yeah. Gallows and Anderson, bald Kevin Nash and short Kevin Nash. Actually, sorry, bald Kevin Nash and short Gallows.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you got Enzo and Cass, which is, a hilarious tag team on any given night. Not the best anymore, but they were really good. Yeah. And Cesaro and Sheamus. That's a big surprise.
Yeah,
those guys they had no identity as singles guys.
No.
And then I guess someone just put them in a tag team.
I wonder if it was actually Mick Foley, like the way he was on screen.
I think remember the when there was 4, it was Rusev, Sheamus, Wade Barrett, and I think they realized that if Wade Barrett leaves, Rusev is strong enough to hold his own on his own. Mm-hmm. So let's just keep Sheamus and Cesaro together. Let's try them out again.
Yeah.
But Cesaro was
he wasn't.
He wasn't in it, but I think they gave him the idea to say, let's go on a national, like, you know.
Yeah, exactly. The
tangent.
international European thing. Who was the fourth guy? It was Sheamus,
Barrett.
Wade Barrett, Rusev, and Del Rio.
Del Rio,
yeah.
who is not welcome anymore.
No. We'll that's for another podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, this match, going back to it, it was a great match.
It was the best feeling hearing that music.
Yeah, it made me have goosebumps. I was almost in tears when I.
It's
when
like
I heard
we were like 80% sure it was gonna happen, but
Yeah.
even though like it still happened, it was the
biggest pop of the night for sure, and no broken gimmick. Matt kind of kept it. He's kind of like leaning on the fence with it, half. But Jeff Hardy was just regular Jeff, and I liked it. I'm as much as the broken gimmick was cool. I feel like it's not the right time for it right now.
Why waste it now?
Exactly. Let's ride the nostalgic wave, and then we'll worry about that when we get there, sort of thing. So the Hardys won, great match. Let's move on. Next one. We got the John Cena, Nikki Bella versus Maurice and Miz. In their what's the word I'm looking for? Mixed tag team match. That's what I was trying to. I don't know what's wrong with me tonight. I'm blanking out on everything.
Lack of sleep.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, it's probably because I've been writing an essay all day and my brain is fried. Because fuck school and just do drugs, people.
Yes.
It's better for your brain to fry it through drugs than it is through
And the government will pay you to do it.
Exactly, especially if you live in Canada / Quebec. So, John Cena, Nikki Bella versus The Miz and Maurice. Great build up to this match.
One of the funniest build-ups I've ever seen.
Considering we're all pissed when we found out about this match because this leaked online months ago,
Yeah.
and we were furious because we all wanted Cena versus The Undertaker, and we're like, what is this bullshit? They're going to be in this stupid mixed tag team match, and we know the winner. We all knew the winner even going into it, but the way they built it up, Maurice and The Miz deserve huge props.
They turned it into something.
They really did it well.
They used their characters perfectly.
Exactly. Miz is a good actor. Say what you want.
Yeah.
Maurice, scratch out the accent. She's not too bad either. Montreal Pride, what's up? And Cena on SmackDown before Mania ripped them to shreds. Went on this crazy tangent, and he just shows why he's so good. That he doesn't need a script. He could do whatever the hell he wants, and he'll keep it PG, and he'll still rip into you, even though he said pussy on live television. And I'm sure Vince had a little bit of
He started sweating.
Vince had
but Vince did say the N-word on television.
He did say the N to John Cena. So John just like, I guess I can do whatever I want. Nothing I could ever say could ever be that bad.
Yeah, he just pulls out the clip regularly.
Yeah.
Look at my phone, Vince. Did you say that?
What are you talking about, John? Turn that shit off!
I'll put you on SmackDown again.
John and Nikki obviously won. A lot of people are complaining that they buried them. I don't think it hurt Miz.
No.
Because we all knew the
added to
outcome
it
of
the
this
legacy
match.
of Miz.
Exactly. And people are like, oh, but Maurice, if she wants to come back, who gives a shit? She hasn't wrestled in over a year since she's been back, and God knows how long it's been since she first left.
They were cheering them the next night.
Exactly. They did a good job with it. They earned their respect, and they got a nice pay cut. Especially working with Cena, I'm sure you get a little bit extra. So, good on them.
It's not the first time Miz and Cena, right? So.
Exactly. And then John proposed to Nikki. We all saw it coming. They claimed that it wasn't fake, but I mean, I don't believe that for a second. But it was a nice feel-good moment. You saw she was about to cry. And John, you could tell what he said, whether it was scripted or not, whether it came from the heart. It was a good feel-good moment. And I'm sorry, if you didn't cheer, then you're piece of shit.
Yeah.
That's real.
And the Mania up to that point was extremely happy. Like
exactly.
Everybody was having a good time. It was a great crowd.
Especially after the Hardys. It was just like, this is the best.
It was just getting better and better.
Yeah, it was
one match after the other, better and better.
Yeah. Next match, we got the non-sanctioned match. First was unsanctioned. That's non-sanctioned.
Yeah.
Crazy twist of events.
No, it was non, and then at Mania it was un.
Okay, whatever. They
still screwed up on the site. It still says non-sanctioned.
Whatever.
We need a lawyer to.
They don't even know
check
themselves.
The titles of these matches.
Yeah, exactly.
I think.
All right, let's start with the entrances with this one, because this is where the real Mania entrances started.
Yeah.
Triple H came out first. I don't get why. I feel like he should always come out second. Unless he's facing a champion and he's not the champion, that's the only exception to the rule. Just because his entrances are always so good. But this year, I wasn't a huge fan of it. The sirens kind of took away from the music, and his music is second to none. And he was riding a tricycle. if he was riding a motorcycle and Stephanie was on the back, which that's a thing. There's 2-person motorcycles. I think that would have been even more badass.
Probably didn't
I
trust
think they thought the standing up on the back thing was bigger. Plus, even Sasha Banks came out in a car that had like a back
that looked like the car. They have a car full of Val that takes you around like during the holidays
like an airport shuttle car.
Exactly, yeah. But look, I just found it looked a little too silly for me. Cause like how badass he looked with the vest and the whole biker thing. Even Stephanie looked great. It kind of like if I saw that in the street, I started laughing. You know what I mean? Like you're not badass. You look like an idiot.
Then they have Seth Rollins come out looking like Olympic Jesus.
Yeah, seriously, like Bruce Jenner at the 1984 Montreal Olympics. But I don't get the whole torch thing. Can someone explain that to me? Because he put it on the ground and then the LED lights went on fire. Like I don't get it. It just
could it be this? How he's coming back from a redemption thing, where it's like, I guess, he says that, seeing what Triple H did with what was it, Kevin Owens, and saying that when I saw that done to me, I learned that evil is not the way. Or whatever.
It's possible, yeah.
It could be he sees himself as the light, I guess, but
or
it's a big
his
reach.
Old self down or something.
Yeah, it's a big reach. Though.
Or like a passing of the torch, maybe sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably symbolic of the
I
you held the cards before.
Yeah.
But now it's my turn. Maybe it's that.
It could be. But I think it would have been better if he came out first and did that.
Yeah.
Because then it would have been like this is my domain. I'm lighting this on fire. That's how I would have taken it. I didn't get it. Yeah. And that was my issue.
Yeah, I know Stone Cold was in the.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I listened to that podcast too. Yeah. It just was weird. I didn't get it. And that's going back to what Stone Cold said on his podcast. It's true. Rollins doesn't really have an identity. He mentioned that in his podcast. And like, who is he? Okay, like when you say this is what Austin said. We're kind of stealing this, but Stone Cold Steve Austin. What do you think of? Anti-authority, beer drinker, son of a bitch, redneck. Basically does whatever he wants, how he wants.
Me in 20 years.
Yeah, you in 20 exactly. But speaking French instead of
exactly.
Shooting bears. And then you think The Rock. The most electrifying man in sports and entertainment.
Hilarious.
You think The Undertaker, The Dead Man. You think of Triple H. Exactly. When you think Seth Rollins, who do you think of? Any of you? You want to go to today's generation? Finn Balor, the Demon King. You have Roman Reigns. He's the guy. As much as you don't like him, he does have that swagger, I guess, about him.
Boy,
yeah. Who's Seth Rollins?
The architect.
But what does that mean?
I know.
But now that the Shield is long gone, it doesn't matter that you were the architect.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you're a wrestling architect. Like you just build these great matches, but you're supposed to come into this match injured.
Yeah.
And again, going back to what Austin said, he did so many flips and tricks and stuff like that. It kind of took away your knee is clearly not that hurt. It looked kind of weird. Where I felt the match result was at least 5 to 10 minutes way too long. Yeah. I think it ran about 20-something minutes.
But it still was a good match.
It was a great match. But I feel like if you take off 5 to 10 minutes, it would have been that much better. And if you have Triple H focusing more on the knee and Seth not doing his flips, because he's a great wrestler. But again, going back to what Stone Cold said, you don't need to do these crazy flips to have a great match.
Or if he would have done the whole match really struggled with doing them and kind of it was to his detriment. And then at the end just kind of really pull one out, really struggling to get up there.
Yeah.
And here I come.
Yeah, and that's how the match ends.
Yeah, and then that's how it would have ended. Then it would have made more sense.
Yeah, it felt kind of weird. It kind of I think Austin might have said this too, but I said this about the Kevin Owens match. If this was a pay-per-view match on any other pay-per-view, it would have been great. But because it was WrestleMania, it felt like
underwhelming.
Yeah, it just.
But props
they
to
tried
Steph for
too hard.
Again,
she honestly so much respect for
Even
her.
him, he had fever before the freaking
Yeah, it's true.
match.
Seth Rollins was in the hospital the night before with a fever, apparently.
He didn't want to miss another WrestleMania.
Yeah, considering that his knee injury was actually real. Yeah. I don't think it was as bad as they made it seem, but it was legit.
Yeah.
And again, the fever, but Seth won. He's the man. Roman's the guy, and his suit. His ring gear was sick. The Gold Ranger, they look badass. So
the shield on it.
Good. I'm happy that Seth won. He's one of my favorite wrestlers, but I just felt like it was just missing something. I don't know what it was, or there's just too much. Maybe there wasn't missing. There's just so much going on that. Anyways, next matchup, the WWE Championship match: Bray Wyatt, the champion, versus Randy Orton. I think Bray came out first again.
Yeah, he did.
And I don't get why. I don't get what this whole champion coming out first thing. It just drives me nuts. Chris Jericho came out second.
Did
I
he
don't
come first? Yeah, I think he did come
Yeah,
first.
I'm pretty sure he did. I could be wrong, but the match a little underwhelming. It didn't meet my expectations. I thought it'd be really
This
good.
was the classic case of build-up was so exciting that the match really just could not live up to it.
Exactly.
And it's a classic Bray Wyatt thing, where his build-ups are great. He does great psychological games, whatever, but it doesn't translate well to a wrestling match.
Yeah.
This time was a little better than the other times because
Mhm.
they had that weird ring art.
But going to that weird thing, like
It was overdone.
once, maybe twice. The third time, I was like, okay, dude, like, do you have like, do you know someone in production that you have like the ability to do this?
Testing a projector, you know, like.
Yeah, and I was thinking,
Eric Rowan just there.
I was thinking about the it might have been Eric
On a
Rowan.
computer screen,
Yeah.
just like, I hope they let me back into the family.
How did the people at the stadium see this? Especially the
Yeah.
people at the bottom front row.
Yeah.
Like everything
Everybody's
goes
like,
dark.
wow, oh my god. And then
You have to look at
Yeah,
the
like
screen.
can't
it just. I mean, you could look at the screen, I guess, on top of the ring because there was one there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It felt weird. Orton won. He's a WWE champion. I'm not totally against that. I don't hate it, but I would have liked to have Bray have a dominant run as champion.
Has he had a
like
win?
the
at
eater of
Mania?
worlds can't
No,
hold
I
the belt.
think yeah, exactly.
He doesn't have a win. Like,
Yeah, I don't think Bray's ever won at WrestleMania. He lost to The Undertaker, he lost to John Cena, and now he lost to Randy Orton. But I think you mentioned this. He's gone toe to toe with the best in the
No,
world.
it was
Yeah.
Vilio. I think.
Oh, it was Vilio.
Yeah, I think he mentioned that.
Okay, well, yeah, you're right. It was him. Yeah, he's gone toe to toe with some of the best guys in the world, but he
Yeah.
just hasn't won, and he hasn't like won us over yet
Yeah.
either. You know, I'm starting to slowly believe more in his persona. It's taking way too long than it should.
Yeah, this storyline really got me into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
A big detriment to him is his he's out of shape. Or
Yeah.
at least he looks out of shape.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to be intimidated by him because he just looks like a big goof, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean he's not, but you know you want.
Because he has the voice, he has the
Yeah,
charisma,
he has the voice,
he
he
has the
has-
ring ability. It's just-
Exactly. But
I don't know
it's
if it maybe it's his shape. I think it's just more like, I don't know. For me, I just find I just struggle with like the same thing, like the constant like, I'm going to destroy you, Randy, and then like he doesn't do it. Like he just comes to the ring and that's it. Like the Undertaker, if you're gonna do this whole paranormal thing, the Undertaker had the power of control the lightning, control the lights. Kane had the fire, and again, like we're in a reality era where that's not as believable anymore. But if we're gonna try it,
we're willing to suspend our disbelief a lot more for that
exactly.
than just saying I'm this mythical
Yeah,
guy.
well, Randy burnt down a house and he was freaking out.
Yeah.
That was great because he actually legitimately
Yeah.
freaked out as if that meant something to him. But before that, we didn't know what the hell that was.
Yeah.
It was just that one moment, and again, ever since then, okay, there's only been one SmackDown since. But he hasn't mentioned it. He hasn't brought it up. He said it. Oh, you burned down my house. I'm gonna ruin your life, or whatever.
Like he covered himself in the ashes. Of
Yeah,
his
but like
sister
that's it.
Abigail.
It just felt weird. It just everything he does feels not half-assed, but there could be so much more to it if they just put a little bit.
all the way.
Like, even the SmackDown following WrestleMania, the lights went out, and he
Yeah,
ran
then
away.
he showed up in
Like,
the.
he was on the ramp.
Who, Bray?
Yeah, Bray.
No, he showed up behind Randy and he started to beat the shit out
No,
of
but
him.
during their match.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah,
During the
Then
match,
he
the
took
lights-
off. Yeah.
the lights went
Then
off,
yeah.
And, like, he just takes off.
Yeah.
He was on the ramp.
Yeah, exactly. And then
He's
Eric
like,
Rowan
get it.
debuted. Yeah, it's just weird. I don't know how they're building him. I find with him they take 3 steps forward, 5 steps back every time, and it's not to him because he's doing a good job with it. I think it's the booking and the writing. They're not nailing it because they don't know. I think they don't know what he wants out of this character. I think they're both on separate pages with it.
Yeah.
But Randy won. He's the new WWE champion, 13th time I believe. Good for him. Again, I'm not totally against it. I don't mind that Randy's champion. I just, if this happened maybe 2-3 months later, like some point in the summer,
it
or
wouldn't have
whatever,
hurt anybody.
yeah, and it would have
SummerSlam.
solidified Bray as a legit champion.
Top guy.
Yeah. All right. Next match. Wow. There's no
Yeah,
talk about
the
that.
longest match.
Yeah, the Universal Championship match: Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar.
Not much to say on this one besides a cool match.
Yeah, it was 4 minutes long. 4 minutes longer than I thought it would be. They all basically hit their finishers multiple times.
Yeah.
Brock kicked out of the jackhammer, which I don't think has ever happened. Ever. I could be wrong, but I don't think it's ever happened.
Jackhammer, no.
And it was entertaining. It had its purpose. It was 2 big dudes. It erased the garbage of WrestleMania 20. Even though, again, I'm going to say this for the 1000th time, I don't think it was as bad as a
As
match
people
people
say it
say
is,
it was. I just think the crowd booing the shit out of them ruined it even more than how bad it already was.
Well, that's what I never got about these crowds. Is like you could be having such a good time
Yeah, they just shit on
watching
everything.
two
yeah.
guys fight each other, but
Yeah.
you ruin it.
Yeah, because they want and we'll get to this when we go to Roman
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Raw. But they think by saying certain things they'll get what they want, but they don't understand that that's not how it works. Because most of these fans now started in the John Cena era.
Yeah.
A lot of them, and again, I don't mean to sound like a hipster or anything like that, but I've been watching wrestling since 1998. I was 6 years old when I started. I barely missed a Raw since. You seen the Attitude Era. No one ever clapped, "This is awesome. You still got it.
Yeah.
You deserve it." No, you cheered for the good guy. You booed for the bad guy. And occasionally, yeah, you had the time where you flip flop back and forth.
Yeah.
But it was rare.
Yeah.
And people say, "Oh, it's because the booking was rare." Yeah, it was. But this is what we got,
Yeah.
and you gotta deal with it. And booing the shit out of Roman is gonna give you the opposite of what you want. But anyways, back to WrestleMania. Brock versus Goldberg for the Universal title. Brock Lesnar won in 4 minutes 26 seconds, I believe. I'm not angry.
No.
It was
Goldberg.
good. It was entertaining.
Yeah,
Well
it's-
executed all the way through. Again, good build up,
Yeah.
good match.
Like
good
everything
result.
else, it could have been better, but it was fine.
But I always say, like, in the moment, it's always not as good as it should be. But
Yeah.
when you look back, you're like, oh, that was epic. That was sick.
Look at Brock beating Undertaker.
Yeah.
At the time, I mean, I'm
Yeah,
still
it was
not
like, what the hell
100%
is that
happy
shit?
about it.
And then you think, who the hell else was gonna do it?
Exactly. If that was Undertaker's last match,
It
would've been
fine,
perfect. I think because it wasn't, it kind of took away from it.
Yeah.
But again, it built a 3-year dominance that
Yeah.
Brock had, whereas we've never seen that before in WWE ever. And they,
And to be taken away by this Goldberg.
exactly by
thing,
Goldberg,
yeah.
and then by taking it back, kinda, even though he's still 2-1 against, or 1-2.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. Goldberg lost. He said he's leaving WWE. At least temporarily, if not forever. I don't think he's ever going to come back in a wrestling capacity personally,
No.
but he's definitely never going to be gone forever. Like
Yeah.
it's not going to be 13
He'll
years. till we
show
see
up
him
at
again.
WrestleMania. He'll show up
Yeah,
at pay-per-views.
yeah, he'll be inducted to the
a
Hall of
Royal
Fame
Rumble here
eventually.
and there, you know.
Exactly. And yeah, now what's going to happen with Brock? Who's his next guy? That's the big question going forward. Is it Finn? Does Finn put his rematch clause Kevin Owens?
Could be
On
Braun.
Raw, Paul
does
Heyman
Braun-
seemed to very clearly indicate that it was Roman Reigns.
Exactly, yeah, which
Uh,
didn't make a lot of fans happy. But again, I think the beginning of Raw solidified that more than it should have
Yeah.
been. But yeah, you know what? I hope Brock kicks Roman's ass just because I want, not because of anything Roman, it's because I want Brock to get that legitimacy back
Yeah.
and get that badass back. And like, who's going to beat this guy? It's going to take something really special to make this guy lose his belt. It's going to suck we're not having the belt on Raw every week. But you know what? It is what it is. But apparently this year on his deal, he's going to do more dates. Because you know he always does SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Survivor Series. Does the big
Here's a
pay-per-views.
speculation that will never happen, but anyway. Imagine Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, alright? And Roman's getting the shit kicked out of him, and it's just not working out. And then who comes in to interfere? Some hoodied guys. And it's the Shield
Sick,
coming
actually.
back
Oh,
and
yeah.
helping their brother.
That'd be pretty cool.
And they
actually.
say, what is going on? What is going on? We realized something. Seth, when he got, Triple H to, kill his teammates for him basically and take
Yeah.
over the WWE, realized that's not the way to do business.
Yeah.
That's good short term, but not long term.
Yeah,
Long term, you need an empire.
yeah.
Roman
The
empire.
Roman
back.
Empire.
It would be pretty
That'd
good.
be
Now,
pretty
if Vince steals this, will I be mad? Probably, because I could have got paid for it. But it's not. You know what? People got to give stuff a chance.
Yeah.
So I mean, like this. No one gave Goldberg, Brock Lesnar a real. It was cool because of nostalgia. But I think a lot of people said, "Oh well, it's gonna be a throwaway match."
Yeah.
That's it. But then it ended up, like you said, showing legitimacy.
Yeah.
And Goldberg, God bless him for staying in such great shape.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if it's
Still
organic
today,
there,
looks
but
like
I don't know, but that guy's a monster.
Yeah.
He's a monster.
Yeah, alright, so the Brock won. Next up, the SmackDown Women's match. I was shocked it went on this late in the show.
Yeah, at one point we thought it was canceled.
Yeah, we legitimately thought it was canceled because we just didn't know where it was going to fit on the card. 6-pack challenge, champion Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James versus Becky Lynch versus Naomi versus Carmella versus Natalya.
very crowded.
It felt like a pre-show match. It
Yeah.
felt like they didn't have any time to do it.
Rushed entrances.
Really, yeah, it's a super. They didn't even get to go down the
Yeah, not
the
even
ramp.
halfway down the ramp, and then the next person's coming out.
Exactly, it was weird. I think the person who got the the biggest entrance was Naomi because it was her hometown.
Yeah.
And again, Alexa came out first, and I don't get why. She has a really good entrance. I love her entrance. I love people don't like her as a wrestler, and people think because she's really hot that a lot of guys like her purely for that, especially considering the women's roster today is not the most good looking roster, because back in the day it was always models that would come in, now it's actual wrestlers. But yes, she's hot. She's a decent wrestler. People forget she's only been in the business for about 2 years. But her facial reactions, her personality, she looks pissed off 24/7, and I believe it because that's her character, and she does a great job with it. People need to stop shitting on her for that. And she lost the match to Naomi in a very rushed match. It had a decent ending. I like that they made her tap out versus some stupid finish. That stupid leg kick that Naomi does drives me nuts. It's so, that looks like it doesn't hurt at all. But I like that they made her tap. Naomi got her moment in her hometown, and they're clearly going to go with the original planned storyline that they had for her before she got injured. Because I think they made her relinquish the title after she won it at the last SmackDown pay-per-view, because they just weren't sure how long she'd be out for. And just to play it safe, they threw it back on Alexa.
Yeah, she wasn't out for long.
It was like 5 weeks or something.
Exactly.
She came back the week before Mania. So
pick up that story.
Exactly. So good for her. I'm happy they won. It was a solid match. If this was lower on the card, it would have been better. And if I say pre-show, people are going to think I'm sexist. But I don't necessarily want it on the pre-show. It just felt like a pre-show match because they had no time.
I mean, by throwing in Natalia, it felt like another... She seems to, like... I don't know. Her matches never seem legitimate. It seems like she's just kind of there, Natalia.
I just
lately, especially.
Natalia has, I find, no personality. Especially her heel persona, I find is terrible. She's a great in-ring technical wrestler. Phenomenal. But that's it. Whereas every other person in this match
has a character.
Like Mickie James, mind you, she doesn't play so much anymore, but she used to be that psychopath stalker. Alexa Bliss, again, always pissed off. It's always about her. Becky Lynch, she's the quirky, fan-loving, fun, good wrestling girl. You have Naomi, who's like again the dancer, the athletic girl. And
the epileptic entrance.
And then you have Carmella, who's that put the spotlight on me type girl. I want all the attention.
Enzo.
Exactly, and she used to be a part of that the whole soft thing. And then you have Natalia, again, great wrestler, but just lack of personality. I don't know. It's weird.
Another thing that hurt the match was they said it was every available
women, and then it was just like
it was so
5
rushed.
other women that came in there. People were saying old. Like Kelly might come in, Victoria, like former WWE superstars would come in and be a part of this match, and that's what everyone was hoping for. We didn't get it.
They had no time to even do that.
Yeah, exactly. So Naomi won, 2-time SmackDown Women's Champion. It was a pretty okay match. Now the main event, like no holds barred. Apparently, I don't remember that ever being a thing before.
When was that a thing?
I could have missed it, but I doubt we all did because none of us at the table knew about this. Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker.
Commentated by Jim Ross.
Commentary by JR about a week and a half after the passing of his wife. So thank you, Vince, for giving that opportunity. And thank you, JR, for giving us, the fans, the opportunity to hear your voice one more time.
I don't think he would have missed that fight for the world, though.
Probably not. But because apparently there was rumors he was going to do it even before his wife passed. Like, it wasn't like a Vince felt bad sort of thing.
I think it was this is probably going to be Taker's last match. And they had a gentleman's agreement saying, listen, whatever happened, it happened. But this is Taker.
Exactly, and who knew it was actually going to be Taker's last match? Because we've been saying this for years. That, is this the last one? Is this the last one? Is this the last one? And it never was. He looked really bad at some points in this match. He looked really gassed. I felt bad for him at some time. I said it at the table. I'm like, he needs to retire. As much as I love him, he's one of my favorites of all time. I grew up watching this guy. You just don't want him to ruin his legacy.
Yeah, exactly. By looking like that old man that falls.
Exactly. And then he screwed up on the tombstone with Roman, that reversal. But they did a really good job in audibling out of it. And Roman, hate him or love him, that was a great audible on him to go for that Superman punch. Whether he called it or The Undertaker, it looked...
The crowd at one point was screaming like, this is bullshit or something after he kicked out of the pile driver. It's like, what do you think? Seriously, this 55-year-old man is gonna tombstone this guy and he's gonna die.
McMahon can do it.
Yeah, but it's like
Shane
no,
McMahon
it's like this is what they were going for.
Exactly.
This, hey, old man, I'm taking over now. It's time for you to step down.
This is my yard.
And it's
right?
literally, when you think about it, it makes perfect sense. It's I'm going to put you out of this business.
Yeah.
That's what they were going for. Yeah. Legend killer status.
And you know, if the Undertaker was the one who said he wants Roman to do it, then even more power to Roman.
And honestly, I think Taker just saw that from the business side of things. If anyone on the roster was going to do it, if he would go out to John Cena, it would have been for nothing.
I don't know about that. Look, I was about to say that if there's 3 other people at the top of my head that I could think of that should have won this match other than Roman, it should have been Kane.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar.
Cena.
Or John Cena. Yeah. Those are my 3 other guys.
I agree with that. It would have been nice to see as a fan, respect, 1 star and another, great. But as far as like what does it do besides giving John Cena I took the Undertaker out, there's no real like thing.
Yeah, like you're saying Roman earned it because he's young and he's gonna be there for the next 10
by
years.
using the hate on Roman right now to put him in that position where now, forget it. It boiled over into like full blown witch hunt heat.
Stupidity.
Yeah. It was well done. No, and it's going to be remembered as a moment of like pure vilification.
Yeah.
Like he is the ultimate, unliked figure.
Yeah.
And this time it's even more meta. It's real hatred by a lot of people.
And people are like pissed that he went off the ropes like 3 times for that last spear.
I love that.
But it made it like, okay, Roman's like, okay, I'm going to kill you now.
Yeah.
My regular spears couldn't do it. Like, I'm going to take you out permanently and give you like, and people are like, oh, we're supposed to believe that he actually went off the ropes. Yeah. It's like, you always believe it when anybody throws someone off the ropes. Wrestlers have come out and said, that rope does not shoot you back. Yeah. We run and we pretend like we're jumping off and coming back. That's what wrestlers have said.
It's not a spring.
Exactly. But now it's not real because Roman
was cool.
did it.
Like he was toying with him. Like I'm gonna end this now.
Yeah, exactly. And
but again, considering Roman Reigns was in great shape.
Yeah.
Is fighting a 55, 56, however old man.
Yeah.
Who was the Undertaker, obviously a legend.
Yeah.
Held his own. Good match.
Yeah.
The right spots. It's perfect for a highlight reel. So I mean, it was well done in that respect. Like they can use this footage for a long time to build a lot of things.
Yeah, he's 52.
Oh, he's 52. Okay, I thought he was a little older than that. But still, 52 years old. Like that's my father's age.
Yeah.
My father's out of shape.
Yeah.
And like can't run, let alone wrestle Roman Reigns, right? So I mean, we can believe it.
It's just look. Am I ecstatic that the Undertaker lost in his final match? No. But the Undertaker's old school. Yeah. He likes to do.
Yeah.
You go on your back sort of thing. I feel like this was his only loss at Mania. It would have been even better. Which going back to what we said earlier, where WrestleMania 30 had a little more legitimacy to him being like done. To me. It's just more sad that it's just over. The Undertaker's ride is officially done. I was almost in tears. Literally, my eyes were watering up when they had that whole. He left his hat, his trench coat, and his gloves on the ring, and that was it. And while they were taking down the ring, I don't know if that was done for photography reasons or whatever it was, but that was the last thing they got rid of. The chairs were gone, the top was gone, the ropes were gone, and the last thing they took out before they actually physically moved out the ring was his gear. So it was just it was sad. I grew up with this guy. He's always been, if not my favorite, my second favorite to Jeff Hardy. People are gonna shit on me for that, but whatever.
It's all a matter of taste.
Exactly. Look, I get the Undertaker. Just he's there's never been a character like him.
Knowing that entrance won't hit and he'll fight.
Yeah.
Probably, unless, like I said, for a one-off at the Rumble, maybe.
No, he's done.
Yeah, he's old.
If it's a one-off, it's gonna be at Mania, but it's not gonna happen.
And like the year he gets inducted to the Hall of Fame, which is probably next year right away.
Yeah, anyway. 100%. Yeah.
So it's just like that entrance is so iconic.
That
dong. It's the entrance.
Yeah.
That dong.
Yeah.
Dong. Yeah.
Dong. But like all those moments with Kane and Paul Bearer, all those amazing matches with Shawn Michaels, all of it was just we're lucky to have lived through.
Exactly.
The great part of it.
Exactly. Like we're lucky to be a part of this era where we could see that happen.
Yeah.
Look, my first ever match I ever watched in my life, Bad Blood in Your House.
Wow.
Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, first ever Hell in a Cell match, where Kane came in and interfered, and that was Kane's debut. 1997. That was the first match I ever watched in my life. It got me hooked. I've been a fan ever since.
Well, my first was the Hell in a Cell Mick Foley.
Yeah, exactly.
That was
there
my
you go.
first.
Yeah.
So another Undertaker moment where you thought this man looks invincible.
Yeah.
And he just killed a man.
Literally, that match wasn't long.
Yeah.
Everything else was fucking long.
It was the actual like recovering and waking up to fight in the match again.
Yeah, that was.
So again,
so
like
sad.
you know, they did it. I think honestly, like objectively, it was well done.
Yeah.
With what they had.
Yeah.
From an emotional perspective, I was actually like, I thought I'd be like, oh wow, okay, I know how it was gonna end anyway, but it didn't take away from it.
No, not at all.
Really, it felt great, and then that leads us into the Raw after Mania, how it all started.
Yeah. So that's it for WrestleMania 33, and if we didn't mention it, Roman won, and the Undertaker's officially retired, and then the Raw after Mania. Actually, before we get to that, what would you rate Mania out of 10?
I'd rate it a solid, at least 8, if not a 9.
Yeah, I agree. To me, a 9. There's never been a perfect Mania ever. A 9.5 to me is WrestleMania 17.
Yeah.
That in the Alamo Dome, TLC 2, the Rock Austin where Rock.
That's a perfect Mania.
Yeah, WrestleMania 18 was another very good Mania, but I give that like an 8.5. This one was an 8 in my opinion.
Yeah, 8's probably fair.
Yeah. What would you give it, Adamo?
I think that's a fair set. I think an 8 is a...
It was enjoyable through
Besides
and
it being freaking long.
It was 5 hours.
It was a little bit...
Plus pre-show was 6.
Yeah, it was padded.
It ended at midnight.
And that's what takes away a little bit from it.
But you know what? It was midnight, and my legs hurt. I was kind of tired, but I wasn't sitting there on my clock like, okay, guys, it's just midnight. When is this gonna end?
Just the last 3-4 matches felt like, okay, no, it's been
I think that's because the first half of Mania was really good, and the second half kind of fell short because that's when the matches it went from 10 to 15-minute matches to 30-minute matches, and I think that's when you start to.
I think that was like the Seth Rollins match that kicked off.
Yeah, exactly.
It was
with
about
the entrances,
about half an hour long.
Yeah, exactly. But an 8 on 10 for all of us.
Yep.
Okay, Raw after Mania.
Yeah, started with "Thank You, Take Her Chance."
Yeah, thank God. And then
for many minutes.
Yeah, it was about 7-8 minutes it
Yeah.
went on, and then somehow it led into "Fuck You, Roman" chants.
The "Thank You, Take Her, Roman sucks."
Roman sucks. That's what it was.
That.
Yeah.
And then
Roman came
you
out.
know after Roman hits at the right time.
Yeah.
I think it was when they started saying just shortly after they started saying Roman sucks. About a minute.
But do you think that was? I feel like to me it felt so convenient that like as if they knew he was coming out. I feel like maybe they mentioned it before they went live.
I feel like they knew something was going to come up eventually, but then what I don't think they banked on was that while he was talking, it started getting really vulgar. Too.
Yeah, they're screaming.
It was outright
"Fuck you,
rude,
Roman!
And
Shut the fuck up!"
I get it. After WrestleMania, usually the crowd at the Raw is an older crowd. It's more of a rocking house, you know.
Yeah.
But
it's too much.
You know, you gotta have respect for the person in the ring. Like you're being outright mean. Now.
Yeah.
It's no longer a show. It's literally like, I hate your guts. I hope you die.
Yeah.
And that's not cool.
Yeah, and not to sound like a parent, but there's kids there.
If my kid's watching that, I'm going like, are you guys serious? I took my son here. I paid like $400 to be at this Mania.
Yeah, exactly.
I bought like 7 T-shirts over here.
Exactly.
And you guys are teaching my kid that this is okay to do in public.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and again, we used to always make fun of the PG thing, but I totally understand as a corporation.
100%. Yeah.
I would not want that as an experience for my family. I don't know. Or even to be there. I just feel bad for the guy in the ring.
But they never did that in the Attitude Era. It was never a thing.
Yeah, they would just boo loudly.
Exactly.
It would be loud booing.
Exactly.
But we did it well when he would put the mic to his mouth.
Yeah.
That
was hilarious.
That was really cool.
It goes quiet.
I thought I was really expecting Roman to just start talking and do that stutter thing where he's not sure what to do. This time he heard the boos
and went 3-4 times.
Yeah.
So now he's embracing.
It was about a minute too long though.
Yeah.
It was about a minute too long.
Yeah. He was doing a bit too much staring around, but then he did the right in the palm of my hand.
Yeah.
And he started talking, and it worked.
This is my yard now. Drop the mic, and that was it.
And it could not have gone better.
Yeah. And then now going back to what we said about the fans shooting themselves in the foot, and I said this, I don't know if I told you that, but I think I told you
me that.
Where next time it comes to Montreal, we should somehow tell the crowd, make a sign, and maybe spread the word. If we don't want this guy being pushed, we need to be quiet. Yeah. Everybody should sit down and not react at all to his entrance.
You guys think I'm so bad?
No, but imagine he comes out, okay? Usually when he comes out, the crowd stands up, the camera turns to the crowd, booing the crowd. Everyone's sitting down. with their arms crossed.
Yeah.
Imagine how
Shawn
crazy
Michaels Hall of Fame right here.
exactly. Yeah. How would he get inducted? We're talking about DDP's induction where Shawn Michaels looked like he was passed out.
Everyone needs like that cowboy hat. And
Yeah.
Exactly.
Roman Reigns puts me in his
We should just make a poster of it. We should bring 3 of them.
That would be hilarious.
Oh, that's perfect. That would be perfect.
Roman Reigns.
That'd be hilarious.
And then when his opponent comes out, we have like some suit, like the guy from WrestleMania, the black guy. That
yeah, exactly.
When,
Undertaker lost. Yeah.
Just have that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Or Paul Heyman's face.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, going back to that, they booed him, but that's what Vince wants.
Yeah.
They show that this guy gets a reaction. People will buy his T-shirt. People will come see him. He sells tickets.
He's
If you don't want him to be there, which most people don't, I'm part of that. Then boycott him by not reacting.
Yeah. Ryback held a job for like 5 years just because we chanted Goldberg.
Exactly, literally, that guy sucks.
It's true.
It's ridiculous, though. It's crazy.
Well, even when Vince came out, they're like, Roman sucks.
Yeah, and then what did I tell you?
Yeah.
That's who you should say it to.
Yeah.
You don't say it to the fucking guy himself. You tell the boss.
Yeah.
You don't react to Roman, and then when Vince come out, that's when you tell, hey, we don't want this guy.
Then he'll say, well, they don't react, and they say you suck.
Exactly. That's when Vince is gonna listen. But Vince is laughing his head off, counting his fucking checks in the back, counting all the dollar bills that you idiots are giving him to go to the show to scream, fuck you, Roman.
Yeah.
Sit down and don't react when he comes out.
You're filling the seats to scream, F you, Roman.
Exactly, because now it's becoming the cool thing.
Exactly.
Because there's maybe a handful of people there who actually know why they don't like
in reality, they're all laughing at the fact that you neckbeard virgins are screaming at an in-shape millionaire
exactly
that he sucks.
Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, like, look, I want Roman out. Not out. I don't want him to leave. I want Roman as a heel for at least 6 months to a year. I think that's what we need. And the best way to do it is to shut the fuck up. Not him. Us.
Yeah.
And not react. Let's give Vince what he doesn't want, a reaction. Why does Cena polarize so much? Because he's able to get both sides of the world.
I think Roman is in Cena land, where like we for a long time had Cena, he wins everything.
Yeah.
Just, he's gonna win again, okay. Yeah. And now, there's nothing but respect for Cena.
Yeah, because I feel like he never had a bad match.
But I still feel like the same thing is gonna happen eventually. It's gonna take more effort because now with social media and stuff, we remember everything a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns has already had some legendary matches.
He's had great matches.
He's part of history, with the Shield turn and all this. He's been part of huge moments.
He retired the Undertaker.
Automatically, like
you're the GOAT.
Yeah, you're the GOAT. But we're gonna come around. I'm sure of it.
I'm sure of it too. But I feel like a heel turn for 6 months,
which I think is happening right now.
I don't think so.
No,
because he's going back with Strowman. I think that's. Look, I hope not. I mean, I hope so that he is, but the thing is with Roman, and he said this on his podcast. I think I said this on our last video that he, as long as you're having a good time, boom, cheer him. He doesn't give a shit. He's getting paid either way. If anything, he gets paid more when you do react to him. But I just want a legit heel, and I want a legit face to face. I don't like this. It's 2017. It's whatever it is. No, it's wrestling.
When you come out and say, "This is my yard now," and that's it, to all those boos.
But again, I feel like he's just, it's like he's saying, okay, well, if you hate me, you can hate me. But if you like me, you can like me. But bad guys, what do they tell the people who cheer them? What does AJ Styles say to the people who cheer him? I don't need you cheering me. He tells them to shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
What does Roman do? Well, whatever you want. That's what I don't like about how he's booked. That's what I don't like about how he talks. And that's what I don't like about the WWE is that they just go with the flow in terms of...
If I were Roman now, I would just say, I killed The Undertaker. I killed The Undertaker.
Yeah, but that would make him a heel, right? Exactly, but he doesn't want to... He stays neutral. Yeah. Whereas, the hot girl... Or not the hot girls. The girls who find him hot are going to cheer him, and the kids are going to cheer him, but all the dudes
that's what happens when you're handpicked, right? You have to... You basically, when you're told, like, listen, we're going to give you this job, but you got to do everything we say.
Yeah.
Well...
It's crazy that Seth was supposed to be the guy.
Yeah.
Triple H pushed him to be that guy.
Yeah.
But then Vince is like, nope, Roman's my guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Because Roman has more of the physique.
Well, yeah, at one point
Seth fighting Brock Lesnar doesn't make any sense. But Roman could be versatile.
Yeah, because he's like a powerhouse.
I can see why
Vince... I could see Seth beating Brock.
100%.
But...
I'm saying like from a, believability
maybe going back to his identity.
Yeah.
Seth has no identity. Okay, yeah, he's this guy who could do tricks and he could punch you in the face, but...
Bring back the curb stomp.
Yeah, hashtag bring back the curb stomp. I don't know about that, but anyways. And then let's talk about who debuted on Raw. The Revival.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And the Hardys came back officially.
Forgot about that.
So the tag team division on Raw just got a lot better.
Yeah. It was already good.
It was already good. It was way better than SmackDown's.
Oh, yeah.
And then SmackDown, they debuted Shinsuke Nakamura, which, lucky fucking bastards. And they got Ty Dillinger, which I kind of saw him going to SmackDown. But again, a nice pickup. They got two guys. Raw got. I mean, they got two guys too, but they got a tag team. They got a
crappy
whole
way
thing.
to debut him though. I wasn't too crazy about it.
Who?
Shinsuke. The way he just came out.
Yeah, it was random. Versus like the Miz, and you saw the Miz get back into the ring, and then he didn't even mention him after. But I don't know. I think they were short on time, to be honest with you. That's what it felt like. But now, the Raw, SmackDown Superstar shakeup next week. We'll start off with some rumors I've read. AJ Styles to Raw, New Day to SmackDown, and apparently Charlotte for Alexa Bliss.
I think all those would be welcome changes.
Now the thing is that AJ goes to Raw, great. That means Raw needs to give up a star though.
Yeah, for sure.
It's probably not going to be Roman,
especially now that you have Finn, Seth, Kevin, all these guys.
Yeah, exactly. I think Seth's going to be the guy to go across.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I was hoping for Roman, not because I don't want, again, going back to the whole hatred of Roman, I feel like he's going to benefit from that SmackDown crowd. And he might get over on their show. Because SmackDown has a bunch of hipsters who think they know shit about wrestling and they don't know nothing. And they love SmackDown because it's the quote-unquote land of opportunity.
Underground.
If SmackDown Live was the land of breathing in asbestos and dying, it'd be the cool thing to do and everyone would die of asbestos. Okay? That's what it is. It's because the SmackDown Live was the B show. Sorry, SmackDown was the B show to Raw. Whatever happened on Raw, the fallout would be on SmackDown, right? So it'd be like a tag team match always, right? With the top guys in it. Whereas now it's its own entity. So people think because there's such a drastic change, and Raw didn't change so drastically. Raw was always that show, that SmackDown's quote-unquote better. The only thing that's better about SmackDown is that it's an hour shorter. It doesn't drag. But it's still, I find, too short.
Yeah.
Storylines are a little bit too quick. Things happen too fast, and we don't see enough of certain people. And I'm sorry, I've watched almost every SmackDown since the draft, and I've watched almost every Raw since the draft. I could give SmackDown maybe 5, 6 better shows than Raw.
People would think you're crazy.
I'd say SmackDown
the early
and
ones
Raw
felt amazing.
Yeah.
And
but again, that's the drastic change, though.
Now, it's like you said, objectively, it's not as good.
No, it's not. Raw is the better show, and again, I might be biased, but I'm not because I don't have a favorite wrestling show. WWE is my favorite wrestling show. I support whatever they do, but Raw is better. It has better stars, and AJ is the only reason why SmackDown was ever good. And now that he's coming to Raw, you're gonna see Raw's gonna get a lot better,
I agree.
and SmackDown is not gonna be as good anymore. I'm telling you.
AJ carried SmackDown.
He did. He was the face that ran the fucking place.
I'm gonna be honest. The only reason why I wanted to watch SmackDown was because of AJ. AJ was there. That's the only reason why. I wasn't interested in anything else.
Me neither. And then the women's trade, Alexa for Charlotte. I think that's very lopsided to SmackDown, to be honest with you. As much as I love Alexa Bliss, you can't compare her to Charlotte.
That would elevate SmackDown so high because then you have Becky Lynch and Charlotte in the same place.
Yeah, exactly. But then you have Sasha and Bayley. They split up the 4 horsewomen.
Yeah.
But I think Sasha has to turn heel though if they do that.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens next week. Anything's possible. It should be very interesting. And I will say this: ever since the draft, I've barely missed a show, and it's been great.
Yeah.
And let's hope this shakeup leads into another really good year of wrestling, because every year I've been watching wrestling for years, most of my life, but every year, especially now that we've grown up and we have other shit to do, I take breaks. Like I'll take 2-3 months of really, like I'll casually watch it versus watching it every hour on the hour. But since the draft, I've been wanting to watch it. I didn't want to take that break.
Yeah, that was the real moment when they realized, okay, we need something to change. Yeah. And that was it.
Exactly.
It's getting even better now. And we forgot to mention Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle, Raw GM. Jesus Christ, that was amazing. Good on Vince for that. That was, people are like, oh, Raw has the Hardys, Kurt Angle, and the Revival.
They're just trying to get the ratings.
Exactly, they're trying to get the ratings, but SmackDown got the strong stuff. Fuck you. You're an idiot. You don't know shit about wrestling. Okay, come fucking talk to me. Let's go head to head knowledge battle.
I'm not even crazy about watching Shinsuke Nakamura.
I love Nakamura. I just don't. You can't say that he's better than Kurt Angle coming back as GM. If SmackDown got Kurt Angle, because that's what everyone wanted, right? Because he was SmackDown GM at one point. Yeah. People would have lost their minds. Like, oh, you could keep Shinsuke. We got the Hall of Famer. Yeah. Shut the fuck up. You're a bunch of idiots. You're double standard bullshit. We'll see what happens at the draft. I love Raw and SmackDown. I want both of them to do well. But the reality is Raw is better, and that's that. Yeah. WrestleMania was an 8 on 10. Let's hope next year we have another really good one, because this was the first really good Mania since, 26, 25? It's been that... there's been some decent ones. 30 was not bad. 30 was pretty good, actually. 29 with The Rock's and Cena 2 was okay. 28, the first time they faced each other, was really good. 27 was shit. And then, 26, that was when Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, too. The first match was better at 25, but that was when Shawn Michaels retired. But it's been that long since we've had, I found, a legit WrestleMania, and let's hope for more along the way. So enjoy the show, guys. Subscribe if you haven't. We have a YouTube channel for wherever you're listening. If you're listening on our YouTube channel, go subscribe to our SoundCloud. If you're listening to our SoundCloud, go subscribe to our YouTube channel. We do wrestling videos, we do predictions, we do video games, we do anime, we do movies, we do sports, we do everything. And stay tuned for more podcasts like this. Maybe we'll do one for the draft shakeup if it ends up being something pretty solid. Depends how, if there's like 3 guys that get moved, then forget it. But if there's like actually like some shakeups,
an hour special about 3 people.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you again for watching, guys. We'll see you next time, and take care and enjoy Raw and SmackDown after the shakeup. Take care, guys.
Peace.